Well, welcome back to our SimCity Beginner's Guide to Cities of Tomorrow. Before I get started, you may notice that the city looks a little different. So I went ahead and I wanted to make sure that from a traffic standpoint, the city could handle. I wanted to look ahead and just make sure that we were prepared for a growth in population, which would mean a growth in traffic. So you will see that we've got a couple of different ways for residents to get into town, get into the industrial area from different areas, and that this road here has been completely converted to high density highway. So, in our first episode, we addressed some of the changes that we could make to our city that were relatively quick and simple, such as a change to the water, a change to parks, which started the process of futurizing the city. We also put down an academy along with a high wealth neighborhood so that we could get some high wealth residents into the academy. I still need these houses to convert to multifamily and to high rises to get even more. A single family home is not going to produce enough workers, but it's a start. We have begun the process of doing research. So we have done research on Maglev, we've done research on sewage sanitizer, we've done research on wind solar power amplifiers. So now what we need to do is we need to upgrade the academy. So we're going to go from level 1, we're going to do a level 2 upgrade. In addition to that, we have put down one Omega Co factory. In the last episode, we had 3 industrial buildings that had converted to Omega franchises. We now have several more industrial buildings that are Omega Co franchises. And in addition, we have many commercial buildings that have converted to Omega Co franchise. When we look at Omega, we will now see that we have a greater coverage of Omega throughout the city. So we now are building our coverage in the industrial area as well as the commercial area. We do not have Omega in residential because that is going to take drones. So when we're in the city view tab, a lot of the services along this row are things that have to be unlocked, which is what we are in the process of doing, what we were talking about last episode. When we come to city specialization, we've started Omega, we've got the Academy down. The third tab that is part of the Cities of Tomorrow expansion is mega towers. So that is something that we can start working on. You really, once you can afford mega towers, then you can start putting them down. So let's first talk about mega towers. You have 2 types. You've got what I call just a standard mega tower. There are 3 ways that you can start. You can get a mega tower base with an apartment, low wealth, or you can get a mega tower base with a mall, low wealth, or you can get a mega tower base with a low tech office. Then you have the elite mega towers. Just like with the standard, you can get an elite base with a medium wealth apartment. You can get an elite base with a medium wealth mall. And then you can get an elite base with a medium tech office. Really important. I talked about this in my Mega Tower tutorial, and I devoted about 3 episodes to Mega Towers. It is so important to keep in mind that a Mega Tower, it may seem like it is a self-contained city. You have to be careful with that thinking simply because, yes, you can build a Mega Tower, and a Mega Tower has offices and malls and schools, but just know that your residents, even though all of those things could be present in a mega tower, your residents are very likely to leave the mega tower in order to do the things that are present in the mega tower. They will leave the mega tower to go to work. They will leave the mega tower to shop, to go to school, to go to parks. So it's just important to keep that in mind. A mega tower is a specialization. You want to make sure that you've got a good foundational city set up before you start dealing with the mega tower. And you also want to make sure that your mega tower has the things in place for your residents and you're not trying to satisfy them purely with the mega tower. You can experiment, you can definitely experiment, but I just want to make sure that you know that going in. So let's get started. Let's do a mega tower with an apartment level. As you can see, it's got a pretty good sized footprint. And it has been placed and it is in the process of building. From a traffic standpoint, while it is building, on two sides, you do have roads. So just to save you some effort when it comes to getting traffic in and out of your mega tower, take advantage of those road connections. That's the standard. And let's do an elite with an apartment. Same situation. So we now have two mega towers, the standard mega tower, the elite mega tower, and each one of these now has a base and one level. The standard mega tower caters to low and medium wealth. The elite caters to medium and high wealth. Each mega tower it can have a maximum of 8 levels, and then you would put a crown on top of the levels. For the most part, what you're getting are basically the same. So, as far as your basic levels, you've got your low wealth apartment, medium wealth apartment, you've got a low wealth mall, medium wealth mall, low tech office, medium tech office. You've got services such as a nuclear reactor level, and you can see they're grayed out because you would have to research them. Education level, waste reduction level, Skybridge station, and a safety level. Those have to be researched. The park is already something that you can place. And you have the opportunity to put down a solar power crown, an air scrubber, a tourism crown, an advertising crown, and a park crown. With the Elite Mega Tower, you're going to see a similar theme. So, medium wealth apartment, high wealth apartment, medium wealth mall, high wealth mall, medium tech office, high tech office, and then, except for the park, you have to do research. You'll see that instead of a possibly a solar power, this is a fusion reactor level, education level, a waste reduction level, Skybridge station, safety level. Very similar except for the type of power. And then you've got the park, and then your crown, air scrubber, solar power crown, elite tourism crown, hologram advertising crown, and the biodome park crown. A couple of ways to check on the health of your mega tower. You can click on the mega tower and it will show you each level. Maybe a little difficult to see, but the line here is green. That's a sign of the overall happiness of your mega tower. That's one way to go about it. You can also click on the mega tower tab itself. We have a potential of 8 mega towers. 6 of the 8 are grayed out because they have not been placed. But these two are here, and we have one level for each, and you can see that it is green. That's another way to check on the status of your mega tower. And then you can go to your data, click on mega tower, and it will give you a color coded, and it will show you the base. The base does not have a color because there's nothing taking place there, but we see we've got our low wealth apartment that is green and our medium wealth apartment that is green as well. I have found that mixing the wealth levels opens the opportunity for more unhappiness or more instability in your mega towers. The other thing that you want to do with your mega towers is you want to make sure that there are options for your residents in close proximity to the mega tower. So parks, schools, transportation opportunities, even gambling, and somewhere in the city, it does not hurt to put down a recycling plant, especially your elite mega tower. The residents really seem to appreciate recycling in the city. So, in an effort to keep my residents of my mega towers happy, I have surrounded the mega towers with things such as a community college, we have parks, we have commercial locations, and I've even put down just a basic gambling house, all in an effort to keep our residents happy within the mega towers. One of the things that we have unlocked is Maglev. So let's continue the process of transforming that city, and let's provide another form of mass transit for our residents, and that's going to be Maglev. Real important to keep in mind when you think about putting down Maglev, Maglev requires ControlNet. So before you start placing Maglev stations, just know you can read the information. Each Maglev station requires 50 ControlNet. So you can click on the Academy tab and you can see we are producing a decent amount of ControlNet. So we can place down several Maglev stations. So we've got some Maglev stations placed. Throughout the city. Didn't want to do too many because once again, each one is going to take ControlNet. From the transportation Maglev tab, you would get your Maglev track and just draw a connection between the stations. We have a couple of Maglev stations that have not quite received the ControlNet signal. It takes a couple of pulses. These have received a ControlNet signal. while we still have two that are waiting. There. So the other one should have it. Yes. So we now have all of our Maglev stations have received a control net signal and they are operational. You can click on a Maglev station and it will tell you the number of riders on that particular station coming and going. But nothing outrageous. I just wanted to demonstrate Maglev. There was no need of completely covering the city, but I wanted to make it so that people up here had a way to get downtown other than driving or using the bus. You will notice we did not put Maglev on the bridges. It is not possible to really get Maglev to work on a bridge. That just doesn't snap. We're doing well. We've got good Omega coverage. That one Omega factory seems to be doing a really good job of getting the Omega not only to the industry, but to our commercial locations. We have unlocked the Omega headquarters. So let's put an HQ down. And we can immediately upgrade it. The upgrade allows us to put down a robotics division, the extraction division, and the commerce division. This is where you get your drones. This is where you can pull resources from the ground in a more futuristic way. And this is more of a shipping, getting products brought in via VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. It's really about the robotics division. So that's what we're going to focus on. So let's start the process of getting set up with drones. So let's go back to Omega. Let's put down an Omega factory. But this time, instead of an Omega production line, let's get rid of that. And let's put down a drone assembly. We've got some space here. Let's put down another drone assembly. Now, my drones are going to need processors. So we do not have a way of producing processors. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put down a processor storage lot. And let's import processors. And there are drones, so we are producing drones now. Let's pause. So we're going to follow this drone. It's going to a residential home. It is going to place an order, so the residents do not have to leave their home. So the order will be placed by the drone. So it just went inside that home. It's going to place an order. It's going to go to a commercial location and then bring back Omega. just like commercial and industrial, as orders are being filled, the residential houses will start to take on the look of a franchise. If the order is placed at a commercial location that's already a franchise, so if the home is a franchise and it goes to a commercial location that has become a franchise, then the home becomes a gold member and pays even more. So the Omega process can be quite profitable for your city. Our multifamily homes have started to transform. We now have some apartments, high wealth apartments, which means we have more residents. Still not enough to fill up the academy, but as you can see, we're starting to now build up a high wealth employee base, which means our research is just going to continue to get that much faster, and our control net signal is going to be stronger. Let's go ahead and add some more levels, because just like homes out here, our mega towers can become franchises and help generate additional profit. So the upgrade process, you just click on your mega tower and then you decide, do you want an apartment? Do you want a park, a mall, an office? So let's stay with apartments because I'm wanting to get that franchise. I'm wanting more franchise fees. This was medium wealth. I've added another level to the mega towers. Our upgrade research is complete. So now we've unlocked the ability to add an annex, and the annex would determine what it is that you're wanting to pursue, because you may not, and more than likely, you're not going to want to research everything. So, for example, you may want the waste reduction level, or you may want Skybridge. Those would all determine the type of annex. All of these items require control net. So the logical progression is to add another facility that helps with producing control net. Our multifamily homes are converting into skyscrapers, which is only going to add to the workforce inside the academy. And as you can see, we're just under 50% full. We also need electricity. So instead of, this is a perfect opportunity to use another technology. So instead of adding on to the oil power plant, let's over here, electricity, let's get the solar power plant. Let's put it here. Now, on its own like this, it is just a vanilla power plant. But remember, we did research. So let's click on it. Let's go here. Of course, we want to sign. And then let's get the solar power amplifier. That's going to amplify. Now, of course, it has to hire. And then once it hires, it'll need to get control net in order for that amplifier to work. It's getting control net. We're getting more and more towers here. While we're in this area, let's take care of a couple of things. Let's first of all Would be nice to do more research. Now we need to put down an annex. So let's do the fusion power plant. And in order to do that, I need the plasma physics annex. So let's go here. And where's the plasma? Plasma physics. You can place it anywhere. Let's go there. Let's go back here. Now we can research fusion power plant. So we'll do that. With these skyscrapers, we now have more high wealth residents. And as you can see, we're starting to fill up the slots for employees here. So the research is going to go quicker. It still doesn't go that incredibly fast, but it will go quicker. The other thing that I want to do, let's put down a control net facility. Now a control net facility needs employees as well. So we're gonna lose maybe just a handful of the high wealth, but as these buildings are constructing, that's going to continue to bring in more and more high wealth. And let's go ahead and put down a signal booster. So this adds to our control net signal. And because it hires all wealth levels, but we really need the high wealth, I'm keeping it close to this high wealth area. We have a good number of sick and injured. So let's do this. Let's put down the hospital. Now the hospital is a base game item. However, what I want to do is I want to click on the hospital. Let's go here. Of course, I want to put down my sign. And this is going to be similar for if we were to do fire and police. So for the hospital, it's called the Metadrone hangar. For the police, it's the Law Drone hangar. And for fire, it's Fire Drone hangar. So you can take one of these, place it, and once this is actually functioning, because it still has to hire people, then we will have drones. So not only will the drones leave and go and service the residents, some of the drones will go here. They will be converted into meta drones, and then they will start saving, healing, helping sick and injured. This does not require control net. There is a meta drone.